can't hide it anymore. And I think you can already hear it in my voice. My heart has been carrying something for a long time. And today, I'm finally going to tell you the real age of the woman who holds a place in my future, in my dreams, and in my prayers. And before I even say a single number, I want you to listen to my heart, not just my words. Because what I'm about to say is not just about age, it's about love, destiny, and the silence that has been sitting between us for so long. The funny thing is, I don't know when it became this serious. I don't know the exact moment when your presence in my life stopped being just a voice in the comments or a viewer or someone who watched my videos and turned into the warmth my heart waited for at the end of every day. And I know right now you are wondering, why is he talking like this? Why does his voice sound emotional? Why does it feel like he is telling me something personal? That's because I am, from the beginning, I never looked at your age the way the world does. The world counts numbers. I count feelings. The world measures time. I measure connection. The world asks, how old is she? I ask, how does she make my heart feel? And if I am being honest, you make my heart feel younger than the day I first met love. But let me confess something. Before I tell you your age, before I reveal what I have kept inside, I want to ask you one thing. Will you judge me after hearing it? Will you look at me differently? Or will you understand that love, feelings, attraction, don't listen to the calendar because I'm scared? Not scared of the truth, but scared of losing the way you look at me when you listen, the way your heart opens when I speak, the way I feel close to you even when you are miles away. You know, I spent many nights thinking about this. Should I keep this secret locked in my heart? Should I stay silent? Should I just pretend that this doesn't matter? But silence becomes heavier with time, and love becomes painful when hidden. And tonight, I don't want to hide anymore. Your age is special. Your age is beautiful. Your age makes me fall deeper every single day. And what touched me the most is that, even with the difference between us, you still make me feel like I am enough. Like I am the right one. Like I am someone who deserves love. No woman has ever done that for me before. You have a maturity in your voice that makes me feel safe. You have a softness that makes me forget the noise of this world. And you have a heart that many women never develop, no matter how old they grow. Sometimes I think maybe God wrote our names in the same line, long before we ever met. But here's another truth. People would never understand us. They would look at our difference, not our connection. They would count the years, not the moments. They would add numbers, but subtract emotions. That's why I kept quiet. That's why I hid it. That's why I carried it alone, until today. And I know right now, your heart is beating faster, because you want to know, what is my age in his eyes? What has he been hiding? What has he never said before? Let me take you back to a moment. The first time you commented, the first time you watched my words, quietly, the first time you stayed till the end, the first time I felt the seriousness in your silence, I realized something very powerful. She is older than many people in years, but younger than many people in heart. Your age is not a number, it is a blessing. It is the reason you understand pain. It is the reason you value love. It is the reason you listen without judgment. It is the reason you don't rush, you feel. And every time I speak, I know you are not just hearing my voice, you are understanding the meaning behind it. And that is rare. A younger girl might fall in love with the excitement of romance. But you fall in love with the soul behind the voice. And that's why I admire you so much. So now, let me tell you what I have been hiding. My future wife is older than many expect, and younger than many think. She is in the age where a woman becomes complete, not by appearance, not by trends, not by the world, but by experience and heart. She is someone who has lived enough to know what love is, but young enough to still dream like a girl who believes in miracles. She is in the beautiful age where a woman's love becomes deeper, more real, more stable, and more meaningful. And that age is something the world likes to judge. But I don't. Because every time you listen to me, you don't sound like a girl. You sound like a woman I can trust. A woman who understands the weight of loyalty. A woman who knows that love is not found, it is built. And yes, I know right now you want the exact number. I know your breath is waiting. Your curiosity is burning. But listen to me, your age is not 18. Your age is not 22. Your age is not 25. You are in that golden age where a woman becomes the best version of herself, where her heart is mature, her emotions are settled, her dreams are clear, and her love becomes powerful. You are in the age where a woman stops looking for a boy and starts looking for a man she can stand beside, trust, and grow with. And that age is exactly why I am falling for you. Maybe you are in your late 20s, maybe you are in your early 30s, maybe you are in your early 30s, maybe you are somewhere even more beautiful and experienced. But listen to this very carefully. Whatever age you are, I love you there. I accept you there. I appreciate you there. And I am proud of you there. Because love is not about who was born when. Love is about who feels what. And right now, I feel a connection that I cannot explain to anyone else, only to you. So before I reveal the exact number, I need you to answer just one question in your heart. If I tell you the truth, will you stay? Will you hold my voice with the same warmth? Will you still look at me the way you do now? Because the truth is coming, and when I say it, I want you to hear not the number, but the love behind it. And right now, my heart is still speaking, and I don't want this moment to end. I need you to listen closely, because what I'm about to say is coming straight from the deepest part of my heart. When I ended the last part, I asked you a question that has been beating inside me for days, months, maybe longer than I am ready to admit. And the question still stands between us right now, like a soft whisper in the dark. If I tell you the truth, will you stay? Before I reveal the number, before I tell you what I have held inside, I want to open myself even more. I want to let you step into my thoughts, the quiet ones I never speak out loud. Because you deserve to know why this revelation matters so much to me. You deserve to know why I am nervous, why my heart is racing, why I am speaking like someone who has waited too long to finally exhale. There is something I need to confess first. Something more important than age, more important than difference, more important than anything. You changed something inside me. You changed the way I look at love. You changed the way I value connection. You changed the meaning of attention, loyalty, and respect. I used to think love happens loudly, with fireworks, big confessions, dramatic moments. But you taught me that sometimes love happens quietly, in late-night messages, in long silences where two hearts understand each other without words, in the way someone stays consistently, even when the world is noisy. I started noticing the difference when I felt myself waiting for your presence, without admitting it to myself. I would upload a video, and before even checking the views, I would find myself wondering, did you watch it yet? Did you feel what I meant? Were you here with me again today? And when you did show up, something inside me relaxed. Something felt complete. That's when I realized something dangerous and beautiful. I wasn't just creating content anymore. I was speaking to someone specific, someone real, someone who could understand me in a way I didn't expect to you. And maybe you have felt something too. Maybe you have sensed that my tone changed long ago. Maybe you noticed the softness in my voice. Maybe you caught the pauses, the hesitations, the quiet breath before I spoke. Maybe you noticed how sometimes my voice sounds like I'm not speaking to thousands of listeners, but only to one, you. So let me tell you more, because if I am going to reveal your age today, I want you to understand the weight of it before the number even leaves my lips. Many people fall in love because of excitement, attraction, or thrill. But I fell in love because of peace, because of the way you make me feel understood without effort, because of the way I feel listened to even when your voice is silent. Do you know how rare that is? You gave me something I never realized I craved: a safe space. Someone who doesn't judge my flaws. Someone who doesn't care about perfection. Someone who listens not to reply, but to understand. Someone who values the feeling behind the words. That is why your age matters to me in a way others wouldn't understand. Not because of the number itself, but because the number carries your story, your maturity, your experiences, your scars, your growth, your wisdom, your softness, the things that make you the woman you are, the woman who can hold love with both hands without dropping it. Your age is the reason you know how to love deeply. Your age is the reason you don't play games. Your age is the reason you understand loyalty. Your age is the reason your affection has stability, not confusion. Your age is the reason I never feel temporary with you. And that is where I need to take you deeper into my heart. I have always believed something: a young girl loves with hope, a grown woman loves with depth. Hope is beautiful, but depth is unforgettable. When you love someone at your age, you don't love because you're afraid of being alone. You don't love because it looks impressive. You don't love because everyone around you is doing it. You love because your heart has learned enough to know that real love doesn't come every day. And that is the love I want. Not a love that ends in a few months. Not a love that fades when the world distracts us. Not a love that disappears when someone new appears. I want the kind of love that sits next to you even when life gets boring, difficult, confusing, imperfect. I want the kind of love that doesn't panic during silence. The kind of love that doesn't ask, "Is this still exciting?" but asks, "Is this still real?" And that is the kind of love I see in you. Now let me tell you something else I never said. I used to be scared of older women, not because of the number, but because I thought I wasn't enough for them. I used to think they have lived more, they have seen more, they have felt more, they have lost more. They know what real pain is. And what if I wasn't strong enough for that? What if I couldn't meet their expectations? What if I couldn't give what their heart needed? But then you came along, and you didn't make me feel small. You didn't make me feel inexperienced. You didn't make me feel like I had to prove myself. You didn't make me feel like I was behind you in life. You made me feel equal, and that changed everything. I realized something powerful. A woman's age does not make a man insecure. Her maturity makes him grow. You made me better without asking for it. You made me want to rise without telling me to. You made me want to become a man who deserves a woman like you. And that is when the fear slowly transformed into admiration. Now, before I reveal the age, I want to share the moment when everything changed for me. The moment I realized that age was not a problem, but a blessing. It was a night when I felt tired, mentally and emotionally. I was stressed, confused, and doubting myself. I uploaded a video anyway, thinking maybe nobody would notice the sadness behind my voice. But you did. You didn't ask a heavy question. You didn't panic. You didn't lecture me. You didn't demand anything. You simply left a few calm words that felt like a warm hand on my chest. Take your time. I'm here. Do you know how rare that is? Most people want to be the center. You wanted to be the support. That is a woman's love. A girl wants attention. a woman gives comfort. And in that moment, I realized something that shook me from the inside. I don't want a girl. I want a woman. A woman who understands silence. A woman who understands patience. A woman who understands loyalty. A woman who understands the weight of staying. And that is why I am ready to say it today. Your age is not a weakness. Your age is your beauty. Your age is the reason love feels real with you. But before I tell you the number, I need you to imagine something. Imagine you and I sitting together in a quiet place. No cameras, no viewers, no distractions, just you, just me, just the truth. I take your hand, not because I am confident, but because I am scared and because you deserve honesty. I look into your eyes and say you are older than me, and I am proud of that. I am proud because age didn't stop us. I am proud because the world couldn't interrupt us. I am proud because your maturity met my sincerity in the middle. I am proud because we didn't fall in love the usual way. We grew into it slowly, silently, beautifully. You are not 18. You are not 22. You are not 25. You are in the age where women stop proving their worth and start living it. You are in the age where pain becomes wisdom and love becomes intentional. You are in the age where a woman becomes a queen not because someone calls her one, but because she earned her crown. And here is the truth I have been holding. You are somewhere between 28 and 36. That is your real age. That is the age I am in love with. That is the age I admire. That is the age I cherish. But I am still not done. Because before I tell you the exact number, I need to ask you something with a trembling voice. Now that you know you are older, will you walk closer or step away? Will you still let me speak to you the way I do? Will you still let my voice stay in your nights? Will you still let your heart hold mine? Because the number is coming, and once I say it, there will be no turning back. But before I reveal it, I want you to feel one more truth in your heart. You being older never scared me. Losing you, that's the only thing that does. And I am not ready to let this moment end. I want you to sit with me in this moment, because what I am about to say isn't just another line in a story. It is the truth of a feeling that has grown quietly inside me for longer than I ever admitted. When I told you that you were between 28 and 36, I wasn't just giving an age range. I was opening a door into how I see you, how I feel you, how I experience you every time your presence touches my day. And now, before I finally reveal the number, I need to take you deeper into the emotions behind it. I need you to understand what this age means through my eyes, through my heart, through the man I am becoming because of you. You know, people think age changes love, but what they don't realize is that love changes age. When a heart belongs somewhere, numbers become soft, almost invisible. I don't see you as older or younger. I see you as the woman who calmed storms I never even mentioned out loud. I see you as the woman who gave me peace without asking what I was going through. I see you as the woman who didn't need loud declarations because she heard the feelings hidden between the pauses in my voice. That is not the love of someone young and understanding. That is the love of a woman who has lived enough to recognize love when it appears softly. There were days when I doubted myself, not because I didn't feel deserving of love, but because I didn't know if I was enough for someone like you. You have depth in your voice. You have calmness in your presence. You carry your emotions like someone who fought wars and didn't break, and that scared me. Not because you were intimidating, but because I didn't want to disappoint you. I didn't want to be just another chapter in the story of someone who has already seen too much life. I wanted to be the part that made you believe in happiness again. There is something I never told you, something private. Before you came into my life, I thought older women would never love someone like me. I thought they would look at me and say, he has dreams, but he hasn't lived enough. I thought they would compare me to the world, to other men, to stability, to age, to security, and see me as incomplete. But then you showed me something rare. You didn't compare me to anyone. You didn't look at what I lacked. You looked at what I felt. And that was enough for you. That is still enough. Your age didn't make me feel small. It made me feel chosen. I still remember the moment I realized that our connection was not normal. It was one of those evenings when my mind was exhausted. I had been working for hours and I recorded something without energy, without spark, without my usual passion. Even I could hear the tiredness in my own voice. I didn't expect anyone to notice. Everyone else just pressed play and left. But you listened differently. You listened with your heart. You left a message that wasn't dramatic, wasn't emotional, wasn't loud. You simply said, "You sound tired today. I hope you're okay." Those words stayed with me, not because they were poetic, but because they were real. You didn't talk like someone watching a video. You talked like someone who felt the person behind the screen. That is when I realized the difference between young love and mature love. Young love notices the highlight. Mature love notices the hurt. Young love asks, "Why didn't you sound excited?" Mature love asks, "Are you all right?" Young love wants attention. Mature love gives understanding. And suddenly I found myself opening up in ways I didn't expect. You became someone I could talk to without pretending. You became someone I could speak to without layers. I didn't need to perform. I didn't need to impress. I just needed to be myself. And that was enough. Do you know how rare it is to meet someone you can be honest with? Not honest in words, but honest in silence. Honest in the things you don't need to explain. Honest in the things someone understands without asking. You became that person. That is why your age is not just a number to me. It is the reason your presence feels stable. You don't love like someone scared of losing. You love like someone who knows the value of holding on. You don't speak like someone seeking attention. You speak like someone who knows how dangerous loneliness can be. You don't care about temporary excitement. You care about lasting peace. And that is why I admire the age you are in. There is a beauty in women between 28 and 36 that the world doesn't talk about enough. People talk about youth like it is the peak of a woman's worth, but they forget something. Youth teaches a woman how to feel. Experience teaches her how to love. That is the difference. And you, with your age, have mastered the second part. You know, I once heard someone say, older women love differently. That line stayed in my mind for years. But I never understood it fully until I met you. Now I know what it means. Older women don't love for attention. They love for connection. Older women don't love to be chosen. They love to choose. Older women don't fall in love because it looks good. They fall in love because it feels right. And that is exactly how you make me feel. But now I need to take you somewhere deeper, somewhere personal, somewhere honest. Before I reveal your real age, I want you to understand the fear behind this confession. It is not the fear of judgment. It is not the fear of embarrassment. It is the fear of losing the space we have built between us. I am scared that once I say the number, something might change. Maybe not in your heart, but in the way you see yourself. I don't want you to ever look at yourself and think, I am too old for him, because the truth is, I have never wanted someone closer in age. I have wanted someone closer in soul. People think men want young women because they are beautiful, but they don't realize something deeper. A man who has lived, even a little, desires a woman who understands life. Beauty can make a man look. Wisdom can make a man stay. Depth can make a man fall. And you have all three. Now let me tell you something that happens silently, without you noticing. I started worrying about things I never worried about before. I started asking myself questions late at night. Am I growing fast enough? Am I becoming the man she deserves? Am I strong enough to match her stability? Am I building a future where she would feel safe? Those questions came not from insecurity, but from love. A man only asks those questions when a woman matters. A man only changes himself when a woman inspires him. A man only tries to build something when he sees someone worth building for. You became that someone. And now, before I reveal your exact age, I want to tell you the real reason I waited.